In today's video, I want to share with you 3 productivity hacks for music schools that will honestly save you thousands of dollars. We're going to get straight into it. Lots to share. I might also share a bonus one with you at the end too. Number 1, use voice memos or loom.com to speed up your email replies. There's so many emails that come in where you have to think really carefully how you word things because you're worried about how people will interpret it. Just get really good at just being on camera, using your voice memo, and sending people a reply. So when you get that tricky email from a parent or something like that from a student or a team member, just flick the camera on. You can use loom.com. It'll pop up. Send it as a video email, or if you're using Messenger or WhatsApp or something like that, just send a note saying, hey, great question, I have recorded you a voice memo response. And then people get the full context. There's no confusion of how it came across when people read it, because some people can read the exact same email. One's having an amazing day and they read it positively. One person's having a really sad day and they're frustrated and angry. They read it a totally different way, and you never know how it's going to be interpreted if it is a tricky email. So use loom.com, where you can just do a video email. What it will do is it will actually take the first few seconds of your video and it will put it in a little GIF, so a little short clip, and that will be in the email, so they'll actually see you talking. So what I used to do is, if I was writing an email to someone with a video, let's say that their name was Ellen, I would actually grab a post-it note, write "Hi Ellen" on it, and the first few seconds of that video email, I would just hold it up and I would wave, and I'd go, "Hey Ellen, how you going? Hey, I wanted to talk to you about your email." And then when Alan gets his email, it pops up and he's going to see a little GIF, little image with waving saying "Hi Ellen" with a play button there for him to play and watch the video. And he can respond with video or text or however he wants to. But what I found, this was just so much faster for those complex emails and questions. And so you just got it done in context, in the right frame of mind, so that it couldn't be misinterpreted. Done. So power through those. That is hack number 1 for you. Hack number 2 that I want to give you for increasing your productivity is one that's a bit of a mindset one as well as a productivity hack, is to tell yourself one of these 2 phrases: MVP or get mo. Let me explain those to you. MVP, minimal viable product. Get mo, good enough to move on. You need to remember that you could spend ages perfecting something. Now, let's say that you spend, let's say for an email, that's a tricky email. Obviously, you're going to solve it this new way. But if you're going to write this email, well, you might spend, let's say an hour writing this really tricky email. Now, if you spent 2 hours, it's not going to be twice as good. What typically happens is that you get kind of this MVP, minimal viable product, and it's for everything that you do, all projects, whether you're building curriculum or launching a band program or running your first concert, whatever it is, at a certain level, it is actually just good enough to launch. And a lot of people, especially creative types, musicians like us, we're perfectionists, right? And we think, I've just got to work on this over and over and over until I'm totally happy. I've thought through every angle. It's perfect. That is going to kill you. You just don't want your business being held back by perfectionism. You need to think MVP or Gitmo, good enough to move on, and be okay with that, because you're going to tweak it and get it better over time. The one hack that will help you with this, to stick with it, is to set a little timer. I can't remember the title of the method. It starts with P, like Pomodoro or if you know the word I'm talking about, comment it down below. There's this little method where you basically set a task and you go, all right, this task should take me 20 minutes. You set a timer and you race against the clock as it's counting down, 3 minutes to go. You're like, quick. And it's that theory of like, hey, if you were going to get ready for the airport and you had an hour to get ready before you needed to go to catch a flight, well, you would take that whole hour and you'd get it all done, and then you'd go out the door and you'd make your flight. If you slept in and you actually, only had 15 minutes to get ready, and you've paid, $1,000 for these flights, you're not going to miss it. You're actually going to get that whole task of getting ready, that previously would take you an hour, done in 15 minutes, because that's the only time that you have. And so that's the same theory with working on this kind of a timer system. As you say, hey, I'm going to get this poster done for our next concert. I'm only going to give myself 1 hour. Set a timer, race against the clock. You will get it done. If you give yourself 4 hours, you'll use 4 hours. But if you think about, and it doesn't mean you're going to do a crap job, it means you're going to do minimal viable product. You're going to do a good job. That's the viable part. But you're going to actually say at one point, Gitmo. It's good enough to move on. Because if you move on to the next thing, that is taking another step of growth. And so that is my second productivity hack for you. Third one I'm going to give you relates to if you have a team member, or if you know that you need a team member, is to do a time audit of your time. So look at all the things that you do. Ask yourself, hey, is this like a $10 an hour task, a $20 an hour task, a $50, $100 an hour task? Let me give you an example. And you start to measure these things. Pardon me. So imagine you, reply to email inquiries. Well, let's say that you would hire someone for $20 an hour to do the administration for you if you could afford that. Well, that's a $20 an hour task, okay? Maybe 25 in your country, maybe 15, depends on your currency and wage rates. But that's a task that anyone can kind of learn how to do if they've got a few admin skills, right? Now, what about a task like hiring a music teacher? You're a great music teacher, you've got your students, you've got reputation. So to hire the right music teacher to come into your school with your values and help you with your vision, that's more of like a $50 an hour task, because you need to really have some switched on knowledge of what you're looking for, being able to interview people, have experience with that, pick the right person so they don't ruin your reputation. That might be classed as a $50 an hour task. And then you might have other things. Let's say if you were in the BAM squad, the time that you spend in the library, in the community, showing up to workshops, coaching calls, talking to myself, talking to the other coaches, that's more like your $1,000 an hour task, because what you do there can make massive leaps where your studio's gone from earning $100,000 a year to 150. So the time that you spend there, that's your $1,000 an hour task stuff, right? So all the things that you do across a month, you're going to do a time audit, and you're going to identify, hey, I did this task, I put it in this bucket, and you can do it on a spreadsheet or with a tracking software. I like to use Monday.com. Other people use Asana. There's all sorts of, to-do list type softwares, but you want something that can kind of graph it and show you, across a month, you're doing teaching, and maybe you've said your teaching is worth $70 an hour. And so you can see, okay, well, I'm doing 24% of my time is teaching, and then I'm doing this big chunk which is all admin, and maybe that's like $20 an hour. And then I'm doing, this tiny little bit of kind of business development and training and growing the business, and, that's 8%, but that's my $1,000 an hour task time. And so you actually get a look of what you're doing. And then you can start changing it and start working on, okay, well, how do I hire the right person to take off my plate the stuff at a lower level of value so that I can do the more higher level stuff at the $100 an hour, $1,000 an hour. And so that is what I did over and over and over, and that's what grew me from that zero, students to getting to the teaching on my own, and then going from there to building a massive music school with 2,000 students. You can't run your studio with 5-figure strategies to get to 6-figure strategies. Like to get to a 6-figure number, $100K plus a year, you can't use those 5-figure strategies if you're only earning 10, 20 grand, 50 grand. And so same thing happens if you're trying to get to a 7-figure music school, which may not be you, but maybe one day. You can't use 6-figure strategies to run a 7-figure school. So when I say this stuff to you, you need to think about, okay, where is my time going? Have I actually graphed it and mapped it so I can see? And now I've seen that, what do I actually need to do to change it so I can do more valuable things? And that's pretty much the hack. You just do that over and over, you'll grow like mad. So there's my 3 productivity hacks for you. I'll give you a bonus 4th one, and this is not to just pitch you on something, but it is actually the most powerful hack. So inside the BAM Squad, that's our Build a Music School community. Currently there's 350 plus music school owners around the world, and so whenever you have a challenge, it could be anything. Let's say, hey guys, I'm wanting to hire my first administrator and put a job ad up this week. You just say exactly what you need. Go, guys, I need an example of a job description or an ad to list the job online, or maybe you want interview questions. How do I interview an administrator? Whatever the question is, let's say it's that, you just go to the BAM Squad group and go, hey guys, I'm doing this, I need these things. Has anyone already done it and could help me? And we have the most incredible community who share all the resources. I think it's the only program of its type that's collaborative in that nature to that level. And then all the things that get shared get curated, improved, put back into our library. So it just gets better and better literally every day. So if you think about every challenge you face day by day, asking people in the BAM Squad, so it's not just you're as awesome as you are, your one music school owner brain or teacher brain, you get to ask 350 growing every week amazing music school owners, and maybe 6 or 7 jump in and go, yes, I've got that document, oh, we went through that trouble, this is what we did, do this, don't do that, etc. So that is literally the way to fast track things beyond anything that you'll ever get from me sharing on a vlog with you. So that is my little hack for you. If you want to come check out the BAM Squad for free, I'll put a link to a 7-day trial, so click down there. You only get one shot at a free trial, so use it wisely and come and grow your school. So I hope you've learned something that's going to help you with your productivity so that you can earn a bit more, make your life a bit easier, have a lot more fun. I'll see you in the next video.